Hey, what's up? I'm glad you made it here. This is Roder MMA Bet, and this is arguably the most comprehensive and profitable betting channel advice for MMA fights in YouTube. I have been betting MMA and the UFC for 8+ years with consistent results, and that's what you're gonna be getting here. This is a quick intro, and you're gonna be seeing soon the results tracking I'm referring to, the fights breakdown, and how I'm betting the card. Feel free to leverage my strategy, but take it with a grain of salt, as this is your money on the line. If you like this idea, you like what I'm doing here, subscribe to this channel and share with your friends. Enjoy the analysis. Let me know your thoughts on the comments sections down below, and good luck with your bets. This video will be covering UFC Fight Night 184 or UFC Vegas 15, Blaydes versus Lewis. If you're familiar to my channel, you know how to use the spreadsheet to your best interest. If you do, if you trust my analysis from previous times, good luck with your bet. If you'd like to skip to the fight breakdowns, there are timestamps in the description. Feel free to click them and browse through them. If you have never seen the spreadsheet, here what I mean by the most consistent and transparent betting strategy. I'm keeping track of everything I'm doing from July this year, and here I'm separating some metrics or something. Basically, this has been 373% up until this point, or extra 60% of the overall betting money. I'm also breaking this down into high, medium, and low confidence bets, and how this is adding up to each time, to each all the low confidence bets recommendations, the medium and the high ones. Also, to make it more visible, here are the charts, how I did in July, August, September, October, now on November, and this is in terms of different views, right, in the of high recommendations, medium and low. Okay, so I'm gonna be breaking down the main card for UFC Fight Night 184. Like I said, I'm starting off with Anthony Smith versus Devin Clark. Right off the bat, guys, I find this matchup quite interesting, actually, because I do see why the UFC sees this matchup as interesting, because each guy has a style to beat each other. Devin Clark, heavy wrestling style, he's not that big, like not a tall guy, but strong as a light heavyweight, young guy, very thick and powerful legs. He likes to clinch guys, likes to hold them in the clinch. He also can explode to overhands, shoot takedowns, and hold top position, pressure guys on the clinch. Anthony Smith, he used it to struggle a little bit. He still does from the back. But the thing is that on this matchup, he's much more technical than Devin Clark. Even though Smith is not an outstanding grappler, doesn't have that strong credentials on a BJJ black belt or something. But he's very experienced. The guy is just ridiculous, the amount of fights he has. Probably has, if not over, very close to 50 fights. The guy can do a little bit of everything. Like I said, he can grapple. From top, he's very good. From the bottom, he can, scramble. He can get back up. On the feet, he's also not the most technical, credential guy, but he's so experienced and his striking is effective. He has decent power, can fight behind a jab, he can feint, The Lionheart also has the Lionheart, so he's gonna be there always on the fight. The way I see this most likely playing out, I think Clark can explode the first round. He may even win the first round, but I think ultimately Smith's experience and his overall skill gonna come on top. And on the feet, it's Smith, guys. Clark can try to bang a little bit, but most likely he's gonna eat lots of jabs. He's gonna start buying into Smith's feint. Smith gonna push him off after the takedowns, continue landing. So I don't think it's an easy fight for Clark, to be honest. There is a chance, like I said, has good wrestling, powerful young guy. But I do see Smith winning this. I'm gonna pick him by decision. In terms of a bet, Smith on a live bet is also interesting, because I think Clark can win the first round. And in terms of, from decision bet, I would take Smith at plus 400. Clark can win the decision also plus 500. And TKO, I would go for high, props like plus 800 if you can find. Or one that you can possibly find is Smith by submission at plus 700. I think it's a good bet, because I think Smith can hurt Clark a little bit. If he takes Clark down, which is very possible, he can take his back and finish him with a rear naked choke. So watch for that. If you have a live a bet on Smith by submission, I think it's worth it. All right, at plus 700 money. Miguel Baeza versus Takashi Sato. Another fight that this is more like a stand-up fight. Baeza, guys, he's young, he's undefeated. He's still improving, to be honest, but I do see good improvements on this guy. He's a tall, lean, heavyweight, super calm in the octagon. Very impressive on this part because he's young, but still he's super calm. Doesn't have that much fights. He's good in the counter, to be honest. He doesn't like to push the pace too much, and when he does, he opens up with lots of mistakes. You know, he's like he kind of overextends. He can get countered, you know. But on the back foot, he's very good, and also if he can keep his range, he also does a fairly good job. You know, if he has to push the pace, he has problem. If he has to move back under pressure, he has problem. Now Takashi Sato. He's the Japanese fighter, and a super quick feet, you know, likes to dart in and out, good karate style, good jab, you know, super, it's a sharp left hand. He's a southpaw, so that left hand comes like a piston. He's got very good accuracy, good power, and that's how he always catches guys with that. Also, what else he likes to do? He can leg kick, you know, he can go to the head as well. He's also quite athletic. It's not easy to hold this guy down. It's not easy to take him down. Also not that easy to hit, you know. He tends to get caught if guys push the pace and throw combos on him, which is not much the case against Baeza. So I'm actually picking Sato, and I'm gonna go by TKO because I think on the outside he can surprise Baeza because he's so quick, you know. Baeza, he's a good fighter, don't get me wrong. I think he's gonna keep the chin up, the chin down, the hands up. He can, you know, try to find an overhand counter or something, but I think most likely Sato is going to be the one finding the shot earlier, especially because of the footwork and the accuracy on the left hand, okay? So in terms of a bet, I would go like, let me check here again because I don't remember to put this is wrong there. So I would go for, like I said, I'm picking Sato, and where is it? Here it is. So I would be picking up either way of these guys by TKO at plus 600 or decision at plus 500. Okay, so let me update this. But the pick is Sato. Like you see here, it's not an easy fight to call. It's because to me it's nearly a pick 'em fight, but like I said, I do see Sato being the first one to land and landing heavier. Gina Mazany versus Rachael Ostovich. These girls, they both also have the style to beat each other. Mazany, she likes a heavy, ugly fight, you know, like a dog fight. She likes to get inside, you know, clinch girls up on the cage. She likes, you know, to knee inside in the clinch. She likes to go for takedowns. So it's very physical, her game. She used to be quite decent size for the bantamweight. She's coming down weight class, so I think she's gonna be very big for this weight class, especially against Rachael Ostovich. She's not that big. She's quite strong because she's young, you know, but she's quite short, 5'3". Her limbs are quite short too. So I think in terms of size, it's Mazany all day. But in terms of technique, it flips all the way around. Rachael Ostovich, she's a very good fighter. She has great overall game. Overhand is powerful. She throws a left hook behind. It's a good power. Also, she can chain wrestle. She can, you know, clinch after the strikes. She can, you know, go a little bit ugly in the clinch with the knees. She can grapple not a little bit. She can grapple very well from top and from the bottom too. If I'm not mistaken, she's also has got good wrestling. She's calm, so she's a very good fighter. You know, Rachael, despite that record that looks pretty odd. But she's a great fighter in overall terms, and I think she has a big technical advantage. Now, in terms of pick and bet, it's so difficult, really. I think I'm gonna be picking Mazany because I think she goes ugly and she pushes Ostovich to the cage and start landing those shots. I think gonna be tough for Ostovich. Plus, Ostovich, she doesn't have a fight in a big training camp, at least, you know. I have never heard about her training camp. So, but in terms of bet, it may be worth it on Ostovich, and I'm picking either way by decision, so it could be close, like I'm putting here. Mazany can win by TKO, and if Ostovich gonna win, I think most likely gonna be by submission, even though she has good power on her hands. But I would say if you're gonna bet this fight, go for prop bets because it's quite difficult in a straight bet, unless Ostovich climbs to plus 150, plus 160, then you can bet Ostovich because there is value there. But if not, then check for prop bets or pass this fight because it's a very difficult fight to bet. Josh Parisian versus Parker Porter. A heavyweight fight, both these guys doesn't look in the best shape of their lives, but they are good fighters, you know, they show up. Parisian, more like a complete fighter. He's bigger also in terms of height. In terms of size, Porter's so massive also that it's pretty even, but the Parisian a little bit taller. He can blitz, you know, he has some power, he can shoot, you know. Also, I put here that he has good like kicks, he throws some hands behind, he does pretty well on the clinch too. But the thing that this guy tends to overextend is also nothing impressive. Not that he's got, you know, super effective grappling game, or he can, you know, chain his techniques or his wrestling, or he, you know, can explode and go for takedowns. So it's kind of weird. He throws some stuff, then he clinches, then he tries, and he doesn't get it. So it's quite slow paced. Nothing like too impressive, to be honest. Parker Porter, he's more like a boxer. The guy who's got the good overhands, you know, what else? Maybe some combos he's got. Yeah, actually he's the better technical boxer. I can say that quite confidently. But in terms of overall game, it's quite weird because he doesn't, you know, combine his techniques too well. Basically, he's a boxer. He has massive legs, so he could use those kicks pretty well, you know, but he doesn't kick much. So also he's not the perfect boxer or something. Now, in terms of pick, it's Parisian by TKO. I think it's the safest pick. But in terms of a bet, I'm actually betting Porter. If you guys have seen in the spreadsheet, now he's at plus 200. I think I'm gonna hold off that a little bit even to see if I can get him at plus 230 or something, plus 250. Because Parisian makes mistakes, and I think Porter can time his overhand. He can, you know, fight behind a jab. He has that skill. So I think it's nearly a pick and fight. You know, Parisian has the more complete style, so I'm giving him the edge. But in terms of a bet, if you have Parisian at plus 500 as a TKO or Porter plus 600, not gonna find them, almost sure. But a decision fight you may get from these guys. You know, they can fight at slow pace. Both guys tough, both guys big. They may not be able to knock each other out. The UFC would be disappointed. Probably many fans also, because it can be a slow pace fight on a co-main event. But either way, by decision, it's going to be an excellent bet, in my opinion. You know, if you can find them at plus 600, this is very likely. I think it's a good bet to make. Curtis Blaydes versus Derrick Lewis, the main event. Guys, I will try to show my points more clearly here, not to be so much, not picking too much sides. I'm gonna say my opinion, but I'm gonna pick a side. I'm gonna pick Blaydes for decision, but I'm not too convinced, because he's basically a basic wrestler. You know, his hands, his boxing is improving. I know he's got a good TKO victory over Junior Dos Santos. I was impressive in that fight. I think he feints, he moves his head, he showed some good combos, he showed some decent power. But in this matchup, I think he's gonna go for takedowns quite early. And I think if Derrick Lewis comes a little bit improved, if Derrick Lewis has a little bit better takedown defense as he used it to have, or if he can stand back up, which I think if he comes prepared, he can do it. You know, this guy has potential, even though the way he fights is pretty weird. But this guy has so much potential. He's so big, he's so athletic, you know. So I wouldn't at all bet Curtis Blaydes, especially in a straight bet or not parlay. Don't do this. If I may be wrong here, I may eat my words, but I would say don't bet Curtis Blaydes, because there's a big risk that you're going to lose your money, especially in a parlay. Now, Derrick Lewis, in my opinion, what he can do here, he can basically, like I said, you know, he can even get taken down. He can stand back up, and if Blaydes starts fading, he's gonna come on top. He's got that massive right hand. If Blaydes slips on him, he's gonna you know, get knocked out. Plus, Derrick Lewis, he can wrestle a little bit. This guy from the top, he's a nightmare. That right hand is really crushing. You know, he can really. This guy has so much power. If he commits and explodes, that it's scary. So I think he can win this fight. You know, I'm not gonna say it's a pick 'em fight, because I think Blaydes has much more chance to win. But I think Derrick Lewis is the guy to bet here. He's a live dog, because I'm not that convinced that he's gonna look off. I'm not that convinced that Blaydes gonna look great. Plus, there is this you know, factor of the power that you can never count this guy out. You know, so the pick is Blaydes by decision. But in terms of a bet, I would go for Lewis. If he climbs it's plus 280, it's near that range. So wait up a little bit. You may get him at plus 300, even plus 320. So if you're gonna bet Lewis, as I am gonna bet, wait up a little bit until this line climbs a little bit and go for Lewis. Of course, don't go crazy. He has a good chance to lose this fight. but the bet is definitely on Blaydes, especially if you can get him in a TKO like plus 600, nearly impossible. But a decision on Lewis is also possible. He can hurt a little bit Blaydes. Blaydes can stall the fight, not do much damage. Lewis can do more damage, so don't rule this possibility out as well. Alright, so I think, but as I would bet, I would like a Blaydes bet straight at plus 300 rather than a decision bet at this money, okay? So guys, I think I hope you're enjoying these breakdowns and the experience I'm bringing here, all the consistent and the results. If you do, please subscribe, like this video, share it with your friends. So just to wrap this up, the fights that we covered were Derrick Lewis versus Curtis Blaydes. This is the bet on Lewis at plus 280. I'm saying here 1.5% of my money. I may be increasing this to 2%. So if the line climbs to plus 300 or plus 320, I'm going to throw an extra 0.5% of my money. I'm betting Takashi Sato at plus 160. I think you guys don't have this line anymore. There's money coming on Sato. So my bad here not to wait to upload this earlier, but I was quite busy on Sunday. Sorry about that. Judge Parisian versus Parker Porter. The bet is on Porter. 1% of my money. Totally not confident. Both these guys not impressive. So I'm kind of betting on Porter, a little bit against Parisian because I haven't seen much, potential there. Smith versus Clark. The bet is on Smith. This is my biggest bet as of now. 2.5% of my money. I do think Smith's gonna come on top. He's a better fighter here. Gina Mazany versus Rachael Ostovich. I'm not betting either of these girls. Like I said, I would like a bet on Rachael if she can climb at plus 160. Then we have, I think that's it, guys. The other fights that I haven't covered here, even though they're in the spreadsheet, if you want to bet them because you trust me from previous analysis, the bet is on Luke Sanders. There is money coming on him. It's 1.5%. And also I'm betting Norma Dumont. Yeah, this is wrong. This is to this side. So the bet is on Norma Dumont. Okay, guys, because I think she has more chances. Wait for my video if you want to hear the breakdown. 1.5% as well. Okay, so I hope you guys enjoyed. Again, if you did, please like, subscribe, and wait for the video of the prelims. Until there, this is Roder Bet, bringing the best, most consistent, and transparent betting strategy for you.